Hello guys, today we are going to do the forecast for the Christie's 21st Century Evening Sale featuring the works from the Edlis and Neeson Collection. So, as we can see on the screen, the bidding starts in 11 hours. So, today we're going to see how I analyze sometimes how I approach certain auctions to get the feeling of where the results could go. And it's really not like guessing. I'm not an expert in every single artwork. Art market is almost like a stock market. We cannot be specialized in everything, but here you can get a sense of how I approach it. So, first lot, Andy Warhol, the skull 800 to 1.2. So Andy Warhol is an icon. This is a silk screen and then paint. Executed in 76. Provenance is exceptional. Among the owners, we have the Mugrabi, the brand foundation. Then it went through Scarstedt. And to get the sense how much the skulls are worth, okay, we go here on art price, one of the tools I'm using to do the estimates. And here we go painting. Okay, I need to register. Okay, here we go. And then advanced search, skull. Okay, here we go, 32 results. And here we go. So here are the recent, the past auction results: 600, 900, 1.5 million. And we can also show it up, hammer, highest to lowest, 20 million. Well, obviously it was 72 per 80 inches. It was a very large one. This one is like 5 times smaller. But for similar works, 15 to 18, as we can see, 1.4, 1.5. Here, that's more or less the estimate, 800, 1.2. And considering the provenance and the beautiful, beautiful execution, the yellow and the green and the pink, and considering what was going on auctions these last 2 days, the market is very vibrant, very confident. A lot of people are offloading their cash and putting it into art. I think this one could reach $1.5–2 million easily in the current context. Next one, Cindy Sherman. These are historical works by the artist. These are photographs from movies that she is getting herself featured in. Gelatin silver print from 78. What you have to know is that these kind of works are really for real amateurs who want to complete collections with historical artworks. It's very tough to resell them, although she's an amazing artist. And for Sherman, Cindy Sherman, photographs. And we can see photographs from what we can do is the research photographs from 78. So we do advanced search, we do minus 75, let's say, and 82. So this is a little bit the period, and there's like a lot of results. Now we can do not even hammer price, but see this kind of picture. So here we have 85 in 2000. So what we do have now, what would be easier is to look through hammer price, highest to lowest. These are iconic pictures, but black and white from the same period. Here we see 1 million, the same image 750. So I would say in the current state of things, it would be somewhere between 500 and 700, maybe reach the high estimate. I'm not quite sure it's gonna go much higher. Now, Richard Prince, iconic American artist. What is very tricky about this artwork is that when we go through auction records, there is very few sculptures by Richard Prince, apart from the top parts of the car or the car wheels that were transformed into plant buckets. It's very, very, very hard to say. And this is a unique artwork. None of these were on the market earlier, although it's a very iconic sculpture, and it's also done in bronze. It's a high production. It's not what people desire from Richard Prince. I have no idea, but this work could, I think the estimate is correct. I don't know where it's gonna go, but it might be just between these, maybe reaching the top high estimate. Next lot, Edward Rouchet, mountain painting. Okay, how do you do? This is an iconic artwork with these wordings that emerge from the back of the canvas. Very dynamic. This is a large artwork, 3 meter, 1 meter 80 from 2003. And the works of this period by Edward Rouchet command prices on the secondary market around 4.5 million on public auctions. Now in private, like at Larry Gagosian's gallery, some of these works might be priced at 5 million. Now, what is the provenance? Gagosian Gallery, present owner, 2004. There is no specific provenance. It was shown at Aspen Museum. So it's hard to say, but I don't think this artwork is worth more than $5 million. I would be very surprised it's going up to the top estimate. I think what a reasonable price for this artwork in the current state of things would be $4.5 million, no more. Next one, oxidation paintings by Andy Warhol. So these are urine and copper paint on linen. Provenance, Sotheby's, Mugrabi's, Karstedt, usual suspects. So this artwork is unique. It's really, really beautiful. Now let's go back. We had Andy Warhol somewhere here. Art price. We have Andy Warhol here again. Yes, that was advanced search skull. And now let's say oxidation. 38 works, and what we can see is that if we sort it by, what we can see is that this work was actually sold in 2011 for $640,000. Another work 1.6, a very large one 2.8 in 2018, 2003 2 million. 2 million 2022. So it seems like these works are very desirable. This one is really, really beautiful. The size is amazing. But you really have to be an amateur of Warhol and also abstract, specifically abstract artwork. And you really have to be willing to live with urine and copper on linen in your living room. But in the current state of things of the market, I think this artwork could reach $1.52 million. That would be reasonable. Unreasonable to pay more than that. Diego Giacometti. So just for the record, Diego Giacometti is enjoying since several years a skyrocketing market, and it's very difficult to predict, but most of them sell for more than their estimate. And let's put it this way, so it's been since 98 in the same collection, 27 years, and I've seen this similar works selling at auction in recent years. Let's search Diego Giacometti now. No frequent asking questions. Diego Giacometti, and we will see just to have an idea. Sculpture volume, furniture. So Diego Giacometti and hammer price, highest to lowest. We will have a little bit the idea. So for 5 million, something very similar. Here, pieces of furniture. Another one of the same, 1 million, 10 years earlier, 12 years earlier. And this one is really, really iconic. I saw one of them at an art fair. And let's see what the furniture part tells us. Furniture. Again, highest to lowest. What do we see here? So here it is. Similar one, $8 million last year. So here we have an indication. So this work, in the current state of things, it's probably gonna fetch. It's gonna go beyond, certainly. It's $5 million high estimate. How much higher, I don't know, but 6, 7 could reach easily. Next lot, Andy Warhol, Last Supper, iconic, absolutely artwork, and beautiful size, 1 meter per 1 meter. This is something somebody can have on their yacht, somebody can have in their Upper East Side apartment. This is an absolute gem, this bright yellow color. Gagosian Gallery acquired from the above present owner 2002. The work was created in 86, so it's really like, it's very funky that we don't have more of a provenance. And again, do we have Warhol still here? Yes, we still have Warhol here. And Last Supper. It's really an amazing and iconic scene by Warhol. And here we go. 2014, similar work, 7 million, and 2003, so 20 years ago, 1.6. So can we imagine and then 7,518,000. So let's see, 6 to 8 million current state of things. I think this work could reach 10 million. Wouldn't be unreasonable. Richard Prince. So we have a very rare painting because it's a double nurse. There is wordings, the text that he reappropriates himself. Double nurse is not something very common. Prince, Richard Prince. Let's go very quickly. Painting and nurse. So what you will see is that Richard Prince did single nurses, a lot of them, and they're very, very different in composition. They're single ones with comic looking like wording on top of it. They're all in masks, and look at that. So 10, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6. This one is not a joke painting. This one is really like an abstract work. It's really beautiful. Definitely worth having in a blue chip collection, right? But the size is absolutely incredible. It almost reminds me of Elvis Presley by Andy Warhol. In this way, this work is absolutely unique. I think on one side, it would be reasonable to say that this work could fetch its high estimate. If somebody has really a lot of money, it's really worth to putting even more to complete a beautiful collection of American art, but it's very specific and we're not very sure if it could be possible to resell them, but 5-6 million wouldn't be unreasonable. George Condo, superstar of the art market today, and 2010 Scarstead Gallery since 2010 in the same collection. So the provenance is really good. It's never been on the market, right? Now, George Condo, art price. I'm opening several windows at the same time because I don't want to go back and research, and we will have probably other works that we want to look for, Warhol and Richard Prince. So I keep these windows open, and now painting George Condo, and sort highest to lowest. That would be easier. So you see group painting, group paintings with group pictures reach like 5.8, for instance. Here 4.1, here 3.8. So group pictures are really like, these ones are very elaborate. And this one is estimated 3 to 5. And again, so my guess right now would be, it's not unreasonable to pay $5 million for this kind of painting. It's 150 per 180. It's really, really beautiful size. And we really have everything we want from George Condo. These faces, look, this clownish woman. So this is like different states of mind of a person. It's almost like one guy here, the same guy here, one woman here, same woman, same woman. It's almost like two characters talking to each other. I think these greens and blues are absolutely amazing. It's very soft. It's very dreamlike. I think it's a really beautiful painting. And I think it's worth 5 million. It could go, I would say, even up to 6, maybe 7, depending on the mood in the room. Really beautiful artwork. Now moving forward, lot number 10, Tom Wesselmann. It's very hard to predict, but Tom Wesselmann is one of the most iconic pop artists, but at the same time, he's not enjoying the recognition on the market that he might have. The provenance is amazing. München Gallery, Pace Gallery, Michel Rosenfeld, Holland, Incorporated Chicago, above by the present owner since 87. So it's been for 38 years in the same collection. This is really beautiful, but you have to like Tom Wesselmann. You have to like oval format, which is really, really uncanny. And let's see what do we have for Wesselmann here. Not advanced search, new artist, check. I would say it would be reasonable if it reaches 1 million. It's not gonna go way beyond. I'm not even gonna look further. This is really my feeling. Kleis Oldenburg, 600, 800. The problem with this work is that, so what is it? It is oil and plaster over mesh. The problem is, this artwork is not as pop as most of the Kleis Oldenburg artworks that do represent an object. We saw a Sue, we saw a typewriter eraser in the previous videos. It's always recognizable objects. Here's something really abstract, marshmallow-esque. I mean, it can complete a collection of abstract sculptures that would feature something like, how do I say, Ken Price, for instance, maybe Chamberlain. But let's look at auction records. My feeling, Oldenburg, my feeling is that, let's see just the results quickly. And so there was a really great price realized yesterday, but I'll tell you something. It's really like, you see pop, it's really like recognizable objects. Cigarette, a switch, ice cream, and now the artworks that were really sold for high prices by Kleist Oldenburg. Here we can see, well, there is one here, plaster. It's interesting. It reached 1.9 million in 18. Another plaster 1.5, another plaster 1.3. It's very tiny, and another plaster 450. Okay, well, that was in 89. Okay, 2004, 2008, 2018. So I think this artwork could fetch maybe 800,000, not much more. Depending on the moon, on demand, this work could either reach its high estimate or it could be even go maybe unsold. But it's really beautiful. It makes me think of Ron Gorchov. Wall paintings. Okay, Diego Giacometti. We're not going to go back to the furniture in details, but Diego Giacometti we saw is commanding really interesting prices. And this shelf, I would say this shelf 1.5, 1.7 million dollars versus 800 estimate. The thing is with this one, we don't see, sorry, we go back again, we don't see much of recognizable. I mean, we only have two little characters, two owls, one here, one here. This is really, really beautiful. It really reminds of Etrusc, Old Roman, Antique Romans, but you see it's only this, and it lacks a little bit of other characters like in the previous one. As you can see, we had this really beautiful scene. That's why this work is for less than that, but it's really, really amazing. I mean, if you have the means, like buying both of them, yeah, one should spend 1.5 million easily on this one. Next, lot number 13, John Currin. Well, classical American, very recognizable artist, scene of lust scenes, women, naked women, sexually explicit, 2.5, 3.5. John Currin, one of the works from the same series reached 3.5 million. And this painted in 12, Sadikos. It's been in the same collection since 15 years. What's amazing about this work? I mean, obviously it's extremely sexy. And the thing is also, it really reminds of Renoir. Same treatment, and also this woman watching at us, like really at the viewer, and her legs wide open, beautiful, beautiful back here, and these lusty gentlemen willing to possess them. This is a really beautiful painting. This one could reach $4 million, maybe a little beyond. It's not gonna go unsold. Now, the tricky part, Jeff Koons. So these works, Gazing Ball, it's not what's people desire the most from Jeff Koons. It's very uncanny. It's a very risky artwork that Jeff created with a gazing ball in front of a canvas, and it is estimated at 600 to 800. Let's see very quickly. Koons, okay. And it's very hard to say what it is, right? Because it is it an object? Is it a canvas, print, multiple? Let's go to painting maybe, right? Yeah, gazing ball, okay. We have 400 last year. What do we have else? Not sold. 1 million for a classical scene in 21. So, and also Van Gogh scene 19, almost 1 million. So this gives us a lot of enough indication. I think this work could reach maybe its high estimate. I think it's even not worth having in a collection. I'm not very keen on having this one. Luc Tuymans. So at some point, Luc Tuymans was enjoying like incredible demand, was driving incredible prices. And art price, Luc Tuymans. But the demand decreased, despite the fact that he's represented by David Zwirner Gallery, Zeno X Gallery that was representing him in Belgium, that was really building his career, closed several years ago, and his representation visibility decreased, although Pinault has an incredible collection of his works. And this one we can see was auctioned in 2008. We're gonna find it probably here. Yeah, so it was auctioned 2008 for 600,000. Now the estimate is 250 to 350. So probably the owner is losing money. He needs probably money, that's why he's selling it. Single portraits by the artist. As we can see here, one drew like 2.3 million, but that was at the highest of his market. That was 10 years ago. I mean, if you want to have a Luc Tuymans, yeah, I don't know what's gonna fetch, but I hope for the owner he's gonna get his money back, maybe 500,000, no more for this one. Jeff Koons, I don't know very much about this series. Let's skip it and let's just pretend that that this artwork is well priced, and it reaches maybe 600-800. Now Ron Mueck, very famous for his artworks that are depicting really like realistic human beings, very dramatic. Well, one, it's very scary, this one, human condition, very scary. And also it's very big, it's an oversized baby, 80 centimeters. Looks like an oversized, or maybe life size. Let's see. Tuck. Do we have a sense of scale here? Yes, well, it's oversized. This is like really scary and creepy. And Ron Mueck pieces sell for 1 million, sometimes 300,000 on secondary market. It's really hard. I mean, it's dark. It's very like, it reminds me of Chuck the doll. So 700 to 1 million. I say it's worth, I think the estimate is reasonable, and it's gonna be somewhere in that space. Going further, Diego Giacometti. Wow, absolutely beautiful coffee table. This is something that is really, really, really beautiful. Look at this. These beautiful animals holding, and this tension in the middle. This tension is here, and the animals are holding it on both sides. I mean, this is absolute masterpiece. It's so beautiful. I think it's well priced, and it could go 3 to 4 million easily, because it's so good. Now, Fairly Buys. I have to tell you something. 3-4 years ago, I recommended to buy a couple of these to one of the family offices I work for, and I had difficulties to persuade them, but look at this. Absolutely, I mean, the size is 270 by 211. It's absolutely incredible. It's so dynamic. There is so much going on here. There is a lot of information behind, like the news and things like that, personal thoughts, and then painted over. It's absolutely incredible. I love this work, and the prices on secondary market can reach like 300-400. I think this work is worth even more. This is worth easily $500,000. There are very few on secondary market, and if somebody has money to offload, it's really worth it. Now, Elizabeth Peyton, I'm not a big expert, especially not in naturemorts and flower compositions, although we have behind this beautiful portrait, almost like done by her. Elizabeth Peyton is not known for painting these. So it was never sold. It comes from Gavin Brown Enterprise. Gavin Brown is now partner of Barbara Gladstone Gallery. I'm not sure where it's gonna go. I don't think in the current state of the market, I don't think it's worth even purchasing it. Maybe it could reach like its low estimate. Now, Amy Sherald. I'm not a big fan of her work. It's very repetitive. It's always the same. She did a solo show at the Whitney Museum, and this will probably drive the prices up. And let's see, Amy Sherald here, what is gonna say auction records. If there is any auction record significant, it will give us an indication of the desire. There's very few paintings that were sold. 1.7 million not sold, 1.2, but these were much more colorful. The show at the Whitney showed us that she's really getting into doing this like characters on the blue background. 2.2 to $3 million. Considering the desire of the market on Afro-American artists and also women artists, it could go somewhere, but maybe 2 million. I'm not sure it's going to reach 3 million, or it could go way beyond, but personally thinking, like my humble opinion, it's not worth it. Elizabeth Payton, we have here lot 22. Payton, let's find Payton here. It's really an iconic artwork. It's so beautiful. It's 60 by 48, so it's relatively large compared to certain other works by her. It's called Kurt, so probably it's Kurt Cobain. I mean, I love this composition, blue, very dramatic. If we read from right to the left, left to the right, he's like almost falling, almost collapsing, and it's really representing the kind of the fate of the artist. It's very nostalgic. She does really these personal portraits now. Up, highest hammer price, highest to lowest, 2.1, 2, and yeah, so 1.8, 1.8. It's a little bit high of an estimate, but I think, yeah, it could reach somewhere between 2, 3, maybe reach the high estimate. Not sure it's gonna go way beyond. Now, what we do have else? Glenn Ligon, absolutely iconic neon artwork, America. And not gonna go into details of this one. It's a museum artwork. It's something for an institution, a private museum. The fight between, duality, American duality, whites and Afro-Americans, and Marciano Art Foundation in Los Angeles. Marciano, very famous art collectors, and it was shown there at the Broad also. So the provenance is absolutely beautiful, but I mean, it's still a neon, it's an installation. It's not an artwork that is easy to resell for investment purposes. It's really to feature. If you're an American collector with a museum, that's something that makes a lot of sense. But not sure where it's gonna go in terms of prices. We're not gonna dive into details on every artwork. That's not the point here. Cecily Brown, we saw one. My estimate was there was one sold yesterday at Sotheby's. My estimate was that it wouldn't reach the high estimate of 6 million. It went for 10 million. I was wrong on that prediction, but this one is specific because it really makes think of Joan Mitchell, and I'm not going to predict anything. I think it could reach 6 million. Let's go faster a little bit. Riot, absolutely iconic work by Christopher Wool, and it's unique. It is I mean, it's an amazing artwork and Loring Augustine, Max Etzler, Loring Augustine, private collection. So this work has been circulating a lot. It's so iconic, but at the same time, it's a lot of money, I would say. Even if it sells for its high estimate, the thing is there is not much room in the future to make money with this kind of artwork. If I was a really like an investor collector, I would buy several artwork for 5 million rather than going for one like this. Kerry James Marshall, I don't know where it's gonna go. One went unsold yesterday because it was really specific. This one is very dark. I'm not quite sure if it's gonna reach high estimate. If it sells between 4 and 6, but I don't think it's gonna go beyond. The man is angry. It's not something like as dynamic as some of his other compositions. Marlène Dumas, absolutely beautiful artwork. Marlène Dumas has enjoyed the show at Pinot Collection a couple of years ago. And she's like one of the most in demand artists. And let's see what it says. In terms of auction records, her works are selling for really a lot of money. And not all of them command multi high million prices, but some of them do. Well, these are really large ones, 5 million, 11.5. Here we have, it's specific because we have a single portrait, no? When we go to single portrait, it's 2.5 here, 2 million, 2 million, 2.5. This is Baby is really famous. In 2006, it sold for 1.7. Let's see. So this one is from 2019, 130 by 111. It's really beautiful and large, and I mean, when we see in details, can we see some details here? Yeah, it's really a beautiful composition. There is so much gesture here. There is more thick paint, this dramatic Afro-American figure, and this blue here. What I love is really like, we really see the mastership of Marlène Dumas using so many different techniques, and how a blue color can really play with the brown. So going back to these prices, let me tell you, I think it's very reasonable to pay a high estimate for this, maybe 6 million. Okay, and I don't know this artist, Reggie Burroughs Hodges, so we're not gonna stop on this one. I mean, we can stop just seeing what it is. It's really beautiful composition. Okay, let's do the exercise. I don't know the artist, so what I do is up, Google Images. So we get an idea, Afro-American artist, okay, very dark paints. He sold one yesterday for 600,000, and they're very dark compositions. They're very dark artworks. I think this one, yeah. So this one sold yesterday for 600,000. It's more like, yeah, and again, as I said yesterday, it's really like using almost like a Rothko technique. What should we say? 160, 140. I think this work might sell for 500,000, maybe 600, but it's very specific. If somebody who is really interested in the subject matter, we're not gonna dive any further with him. Jeff Koons, we're not gonna elaborate on that. I mean, flowers. It's not what people desire the most from Jeff Koons. This is good to complete some collection, although this work is really beautiful. Hummingbird, this Nature Morte, Sonnabend Gallery, Provenance. I don't know what it's gonna go for. I don't think it's worth $2 to $3 million. There are way better things to buy for that price. Christopher Wool, not the most desirable. I'm not quite sure it's gonna reach $2 million. Julie Mehretou, very possible it goes somewhere, although it's not what people desire the most of her, because it's really, really elegant, but it is very, very light. The market prefers her more elaborate paintings. I don't think it's gonna sell for the estimate. It might go for less. Although Julie Meritou is like one of the most successful artists, female artists on the market today, I don't think it's worth it, personally. Agnes Martin, we're not gonna dive into details. The artist is enjoying support from David Zwirner Gallery. It could be, the estimate is very reasonable. John Baldessari right now. Okay, John Baldessari for me is one of the most important and most underestimated West Coast artists, and I'm not quite sure this work will reach even its low estimate, although this is a very, very, very important artist. This artwork is from 69, and Baldessari, just for the record, Baldessari is not commanding insane prices, especially these works from the series of where you have an image and the wording underneath. It's not the ones that, in my opinion, command the biggest prices. And let's see, just to have an idea what the market says. So this work actually was sold for $2 million in 2014, exactly one, and now it's barely estimated to the same. So I think in 2014, literally this person overpaid. More iconic works are these colored ones, and I think this work is not gonna reach might not even reach 1.5, unfortunately, although it's worth it. Olga de Amaral, okay? Since 10 years I'm following the artist, and before COVID we bought 2 or 3 pieces for 2 of my clients, and was really difficult to persuade them. For me, it's absolute masterpieces crafted in Colombia, and people were really not eager to buy them. We bought them for 200,000-300,000, and it was really hard to persuade them. And now, since the artist joined the Neeson Gallery and then had a show at Fondation Cartier in Paris, prices skyrocketed. And here, very quickly, I tell you, I mean, even we can see, I know the market prices, but for you to see what happened in recent years, just for you to have an idea. Is it called painting? Yeah, let's say it's painting. 400, 275, 148, 136. These are the smaller pieces. But I guess sculpture volume, that would be, no, I think what would be good is simply see all artworks in past auctions. So you can see 400 to 600, 900,000, okay? And 250, 350, 440, and again 300 to 500, 900,000. And I can tell you, so this artwork is absolutely iconic, and this is gonna go beyond 1 million. I would say $1.5 million. Absolute piece of jewelry. Elena Tatsui, reasonable estimate, although it's not the most iconic artwork, because they're usually more formless. This is to say they're more like, this one really looks like equilibrated. It's almost like rectangular. Usually they're bigger and more messy, if I should say, but the estimate is very reasonable. It's going to be somewhere in the middle, in between 1.2, 1.8. And what do we have here? Adrian Guény. We have several works left. Adrian Guény. What do we have here by Adrian Guény? We have a dramatic painting from 2010. We have a character here. We have a chair. We don't see everything all at once. And Adrian Guény is really enjoying a skyrocketing career in the last years. But now it's really hard to, I mean, it's so beautiful when we watch all these details, all this energy, all this drama, all of what we have here. And auctions for Adrian Guény up, we can see from the same series, very similar series, we have 8 million, more figurative 7 million, 7 million 8, this was 3 years ago. Dramatic Studio, very similar, is here, and it was apparently auctioned in 2018. It was sold for 5.3, and now the estimate is much lower. So I think the person who bought it for 5.3 is going to lose money, because not the work is not worth that, but there are more interesting artworks, more figurative, more dramatic. Here we don't see enough of figurative, so it's more abstract, and I think this work could reach 3.54 million, but I can't give an estimate, but I don't think the person is gonna get back his 5.3 million, because it's not, I don't think it's worth it. Maurizio Catalan, I mean, what can we say? Maurizio Catalan, superstar of auctions. This is a very iconoclastic artwork, and my estimate, so it was 2007, it belonged to Pissarro Giro Segalo, art consultants, and it's an edition of 3+2 artist proof. So I was totally wrong yesterday. The toilet by Maurizio Catalan didn't reach like tens of millions, it just reached like 12, 13. I don't remember, we'll have a video about that. And what can I say about this? It's for a private museum who wants, like, it's really hard to say. This work is worth probably $1.52 million. It's very hard to sell it for more. Let's see what happens. It's really hard to predict anything else about this. Noah Davis, I don't know very well the artist, and again, usually what I do is we do like this, up, up, Google Images, so Afro-American artist. This is an iconic artwork. We can see this lady, and she's everywhere. And let's see, we don't want Jeff Koons, we want something else. Search, Noah Davis. The artwork is relatively large, 1.20, 130 centimeters, 40. It's really iconic, this snail and this Afro-American, African-looking character. It really reminds me of a caravan in the desert, somehow, like almost like a metaphor of a camel going towards the future, since we're going from left to the right in the Western perception. And yes, today we had a 2 million auction price, if I'm not wrong, and but it's not as iconic as the one yesterday. But this artwork is probably worth 1.5 million in the current market, no more. And let's accelerate. Steven Schreier, I don't know very well the artist. I think it's overpriced. 700, like just bluntly like that. 500 to 700 just for this artwork. I don't know. It's I think it's not worth it. Very quickly. Takashi Murakami, well, absolutely iconic doll from 97, late 90s. I'm not quite sure it's gonna sell for this price because Takashi's more desirable paintings, more artworks are paintings. Joke painting by Richard Prince. It's a very nicely small written, and 87. This work was sold in 2012 at auction. I think it's reasonably priced. We have to see, because his joke paintings are those who are desirables where you can read them better. Joan Brown, I don't think this work is worth paying this much. It's huge, but cartoonesque. Maybe it will be, yeah, maybe it's gonna go a little bit beyond 300 in the current market of things, just to by seeing the picture. Albert Oehlen, beautiful painting, not one of the most desirable ones. It was sold previously, acquired by the present owner, 16, so it's been 9. I think it could reach maybe 1.5, no more. And the last one, Gabriel Orozco, 110, 200. It's a beautiful landscape looking like painting. It could, on secondary market and galleries, etc., you see this kind of painting, you would see it at around 800,000, and it could reach its high estimate in the current market. I don't think it's worth more. And let's finish today's session on that. Thank you so much for watching, and let's see after that how accurate my estimates are in forecast. Thank you.